2 fights ago, you were driving Uber Eats. Is that true?
My wife, my kids, I worked so hard for them. Now, Dad, you proud of me, Dad? You proud of me?
In the past couple of years, a fresh face has emerged from the UFC's flyweight division. His name is Alexandre Pantoja, and he's probably the flyweight division's most dominant champion since Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. A man so dominant that he was viewed as a detriment to the UFC.
Demetrious Johnson he has the lowest selling pay-per-view in the history of the UFC.
I'm not thrilled with Demetrious Johnson.
The media claims he's the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. I think Conor McGregor is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world.
You're killing it. You're just destroying everybody in the division. And next thing you know, the CEO or the boss who goes, I'm gonna get rid of that division because it's not bringing any money. How do you think that's gonna make you feel?
Years later, and Dana White is still in search of a superstar to take over the flyweight division.
Asakura makes his UFC debut and steps right into a 5-round title fight.
Dana White brings in Japan's biggest MMA star, Asakura, in an attempt to increase the UFC's global reach.
I'm here to make UFC flyweight division great again.
And then when he finds that out, how is he supposed to interpret that? Is he supposed to interpret that any other way than, I am not important enough to be protected? I'm the head of the division and I'm being told we need a new star. How is he supposed to interpret it anything less than what I just said? Pantoja was angry. I am UFC champion. I'm gonna defend our territory. He's never done that. He did this week, but what does that mean?
I mean, finish the fight. That's what I want. I want to finish the fight. Whatever, submission, need the choke, knockout. I go to the finish the fight.
It's no fun, man. It's a job, just like any other job. So the question is, not did you think you had to make weight? Did you think you had to do this? Do you want to be a fighter? That is my question.
In the 24th season of The Ultimate Fighter, Dana White brought in 16 flyweight champions, all from different promotions, with the winner of the season given the task of taking down Demetrious Johnson. Among those that were chosen, you may recognise Kaikara France, Brandon Moreno, and Alexandre Pantoja, who will be the focus of our story. Of the 2 team captains, Joseph Benavidez and Henry Cejudo, Pantoja was selected to be a part of Team Cejudo, and was chosen to take on Brandon Moreno in the first round of the tournament. A hard-fought battle in which Pantoja managed to find a rear naked choke in the second round, putting Brandon Moreno's aspirations of becoming a world champion on hold for the time being, and propelling Alexandre Pantoja into the next round of the tournament.
Winner by rear naked choke, Alexandre.
In the quarterfinals, Pantoja was matched up with Kaikara France, a striker with devastating power for their division, and standing in the way of a placement in the semi-finals. Pantoja would use his grappling to weather the storm of Kaikara France, and take one step closer to achieving his dream. In the semi-finals, Pantoja would face off with Hiromasa Ogikubo, a hard-fought battle in which Pantoja would find success early on in the striking, throwing an abundance of strikes, including kicks and knees, shortly before succumbing to the grappling of the Japanese fighter. Although Pantoja's journey on The Ultimate Fighter would come to an end at the semi-final, like many of the other fighters on the show, he would still earn himself a UFC contract, and it wouldn't take long for him to begin climbing the ranks of the UFC's flyweight division. But after just a year of being in the UFC, Pantoja has to make a life-changing decision. Pantoja decides to leave his family for the time being and move to Coconut Creek, Florida, home to one of the most prestigious MMA facilities, American Top Team, an MMA team that has moulded great fighters, the likes of Dustin Poirier, and champions such as Robbie Lawler, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
When I arrive in America Top Team, I can train sparring with Joanna. I try to be like her, you know. I try to be one of the best fighters of the world. That's my goal, you know.
With American Top Team, Pantoja is able to train alongside some of the best in the world, refine his skill set, and return to the octagon even better than before. Pantoja is an aggressive fighter who likes to come forward and wing hooks at his opponent. When he has his opponent backed up against the cage, this is when he'll often mix in his grappling, securing takedowns and transitioning to his favourite position, the back take. Pantoja is known for pushing a high pace early and not really slowing down until the later rounds. In the first round of his fight against Alex Perez at UFC 277, the number 4 ranked Pantoja would make a statement.
He's ripping his face up. He's ripping his face up and he's going across the jaw. That's tight, Joe. I'm telling you, you can put a guy right across the face. The way he just stepped right to him, no head movement, no side to side, no respect, and then the beauty in which he took the back.
I'm the next flyweight champion right here. I prove one more time, and I'm gonna prove how many times I need to do.
Pantoja now stood on the verge of a title shot. Dana White had just recently found his 125-pound superstar that he'd been searching for.
When we do signings with Brandon Moreno, he's one of the most popular fighters in the company. He's your typical, durable, badass Mexican fighter. See him come out with the headband like Julio Cesar Chavez the other day.
Of course, Pantoja already had 2 wins against Brandon Moreno, once in the Ultimate Fighter and the second time in their rematch in the UFC.
Alexandre Pantoja never fought against the best Brandon Moreno. I'm just excited to go that night, July 8th, and show to the world, like, man, I'm just better than him.
I want that belt. He don't can beat me. I really want to go to the July 8th and see him in the cross of the octagon and make it the best fight ever for all the fans.
Pantoja would go to war with Moreno, putting on a ridiculous pace in both the striking and grappling, and hurting Moreno multiple times.
And then in the last round, I put all my heart.
I'm preparing all my life for that moment to be a champ. And when I have the chance, nobody can take it.
By split decision, and no! UFC flyweight champion of the world! I can touch now. I can touch now. I can feel. I passed for everything. Last 2 years, I worked so hard. I bring my family to US. I start my camp in America Top Team. I leave everything I have. My mom take care of me and my 2 brothers alone, you know. Now, Dad, you proud of me, Dad. You proud of me.
Your post-fight interview has been talked about a lot as well. You said, you know, if people just know my story and what I've had to overcome to get here, you know, they would fall in love with me. They would root for me even more.
My dad drink a lot, and I see a lot of fights with he and my mom. But he's drink too much. Maybe he's like a selfish, you know. And sometimes I remember he to say like for my mom, hey, thinking I'm not in home, you know. He's in home, but he said for my mom, hey, imagine I'm not here, you know. Take care of the kids. I'm not here. I don't remember when I have good times with my dad, you know. But I don't want to crucify my daddy. I love my daddy. And I know he loves me and my brothers, you know. But he do the best he can, you know. I not can judge him, you know. What I say in the cage is something like I just want the love of my dad, you know. I just want like feel him. Because my daddy, I learned to never expect nothing about nobody, you know. I when I was very young, I know I need to do everything to myself, you know. I don't expect nobody helping me, you know.
Have you heard from your dad since you won on Saturday?
No.
Asakura versus Pantoja in the main event for the World Championship on pay-per-view. Does that sound right to you? I gotta tell you, if you know Asakura, Yeah. Yeah, it sounds right.
Asakura is part of a surging Japanese MMA scene and looking to make a statement in his very first UFC fight.
As the former Rising Bantamweight champion, Kai Asakura, the Japanese superstar, had accumulated a large following on social media.
When you can bring that kind of following, it doesn't matter what you're ranked. They're paying you too much money to not put you against the best guys in the division. It's a different age. Look at the division right now. They need a guy like Kai to keep adding some fire to the division. It's pretty much shut down right now. Pantoja's beaten a lot of the top guys. He's almost cleaned out the division, right? So you got to bring somebody else in.
And what better way than to go to Eastern Asia, and particularly Japan, where there already exists a large MMA scene.
I'm always looking for great talent from all over the world, and when we end up with a Japanese star, you have to have some stars.
I think you have one in Kai Asakura, who just got signed to the UFC.
We're gonna find out.
I want to say thank you to everybody at UFC, UFC audience, Japanese people, and my team. I will put on the show. 100%. I'm here to make UFC flyweight division great again.
How is he supposed to interpret that? Pantoja was angry. I am UFC champion. I'm going to defend our territory.
I know just talk about myself, but all the fights in the flyweight fights is very entertainment. You know, Rival to Tatsura, Moreno, Talbazzi, both good fighters. You know, we prove we deserve fight here. We have amazing skills, more challenging division because wherever you go, we're good. You know, you have a good cardio, you have good guys can knock out you, and of course grapplers. For me, one of the best division in UFC.
Pantoja was out to prove a statement and give the UFC's flyweight division the respect it deserves.
And finish the fight. That's what I want. I want to finish the fight.
Rear naked choke. And still!
This is the level, UFC level, that's here, so high. You think some Japanese coming here take my belt? No! He don't fight anymore. He retired this year. But this is something message for you, Demetrious Johnson. I'm the GOAT here. If you want to prove you the GOAT, come back.